Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is me, Mr. Mario. Now, first off, split screen footage. What are you doing, Mario? Yeah, I'm on the left, and my friend Emily is on the right. Now, that account, Psychozoa, that's my own side account. That's not hers, so don't try and add it thinking you're going to be able to talk to some girl on Xbox Live. You're just going to talk to me, if I talk, because that's a silver account. But anyways, I'm using this footage because I don't have any other game footage that I can use on my computer that I have not presented to you guys before. Or at least any good stuff, and I really don't want to play another game right now to record footage, and I don't want to come on webcam for this. I just want to do a audio recording, and hopefully it'll be okay. This footage was originally used for a Let's Play, where we were just playing and we were recording what we were saying. You know, I said it could have been better, but it was alright, and Emily just hated how she sounded, because she was really tired at the time we recorded. So we just decided to not publish the video, which is fine. We can always redo it. But anyways, we're not talking about that. What I want to talk about is something more serious. So let's go ahead and hop into this topic. Now, yesterday, my friend John, I'm changing the names on here, my friend John messaged me on Facebook. And the message said, "What's up, Daniel?" Now, just so you all know, Daniel is not my real name, but some people call me that. I don't really know why, just to be funny. It's not like it's a nickname or anything, but whatever. He said, "What's up, Daniel? Hey, dude, do you still have my number? If so, give me a shout sometime. I got a new phone and lost all my numbers. And some really difficult shit has been happening to me lately, and I could use some genuine logical advice. It would be nice to catch up. Hit me up sometime. One love." So, first off, let me just give you all a rundown of John. Now, John's a pretty good guy. I do cherish the friendship that I have with John. We don't talk as often as we did before, like nearly as often. And how do I even know this guy? Well, first off, I don't know him in real life. I've talked to him several times. But, I've never met the guy. In fact, he lives in a completely different state than me. So how do I know him? Well, online, obviously. But, the reason why I keep him as a close friend is because I don't think he watches my YouTube channel anymore, to be honest. I don't even think he gets on YouTube at all. But he was one of the first people who reached out to me as a subscriber. And I'm not sharing his name or info on here or anything. But what happened, he saw one of my videos, and he just messaged me and said, "Hey, dude, you seem like a cool guy. What's your gamer tag? Is it okay if I add you? I see your gamer tag on your channel, but this is my gamer tag, so if you'd like to play on Xbox Live sometime, we can." And this was when I was 16, so I've known John for 3 years now. What happened, I went ahead and added John. I remember we got into a party, and, you know, we were just kind of talking, making chit-chat. Eventually what happened was I introduced him to some of my friends. Now, these friends, they were a mix of in real life and online friends. And what happened was then we all had a pretty good friend group going on Xbox Live, and the reason why we stopped talking, specifically me with them, was just because that was the whole time when I was working at a game store, and I just stopped playing games, so I stopped getting on Xbox Live. I stopped talking to them as much. But I remember back when I actually used MySpace, I had John on there. Like, we became like really good friends where I had him on there. I've had him on my Facebook for a while, and we've all just kind of added each other, like really good friends. We add each other on there. I don't add complete strangers on Facebook. I add people that I'm really good friends with, in real life or not. But I have him on there. That's how he messaged me. And you know, the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, but this would happen. So one of my friends, he's also a in real life friend. We're going to call him Josh. Now, Josh liked to spam my phone, and my MSN, and my Facebook, and pretty much everything else all the time. If he wanted me to get on Xbox Live, he would spam me non-stop. And there was one time where I was over at Sonic with a friend, and I get a call from a out-of-area number. So I pick up, and the conversation went something like this. "Hello? Hi, is this Danny? Who's this?" "Oh, this is John from Xbox Live." I'm like, "Wait, John, how did you get my number?" And it turns out that this other guy, Josh, the guy I know in real life, wanted to call me to see where I was so I could get on Xbox Live, but he was so lazy to go and pick up his phone that he decided he had my number memorized, but he was too lazy to get his phone, so he gave John, a guy we knew, you know, decently well, but a guy online on Xbox Live, he gave John my phone number so he could call me and ask when I was getting on Xbox Live. So I was kind of torn at that part. I'm like, well, you know, it's John, and John's a cool guy, but at the same time, I'm not wanting to give my number out online. But, you know, he got my number, and then sometimes we would call each other, sometimes we would text, all that good stuff. Didn't really matter. Anyways, I talked to John tonight, and we talked for almost 2 hours. Now, the last time I remember us talking, and it was just kind of in a party, just like an Xbox Live party, it was when Diablo 3 came out. So this was back in May. And what happened was, we started talking, and he was having some girl problems, and John has changed a lot. I will say that. Before, he was just kind of a, I mean, he was always I guess a happy dude. Like, he was laughing, he was always making jokes and all that, but he was kind of numb at the same time. And by that I mean, he didn't have much remorse. He didn't have bad feelings. He didn't feel guilty about stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in his life that could have caused that. I completely understand. It's just he didn't have the best environment to grow up in, and his family went through some pretty rough patches. In fact, the last time I talked to him over the phone, our friend Josh actually texted me, and he said, hey dude, you should really call John. And I said, I will when I have time. And he said, no, you should really call him, because John's mom is in the hospital right now, and he's going through a really hard time. So I called up John, and you know, I gave him some wisdom, some Mario advice, I guess you can call it. And I don't know if that helped. I mean, I hope my words helped, but my words can only go so far. Anyways, what happened was, you know, we talked about his girl problems and all that. I don't really want to get into that because, you know, if he's watching, I don't really want to, you know, throw his problems all over the internet. And, you know, John, I'm going to give some details, but I'm not going to give out any personal information. If you get mad about this, I'm sorry. I'm sharing this because you said that it helped you out, and maybe I can help out someone else. I don't know. But what happened was what really shocked me. See, John was going through a rough point in life where then he started doing some drugs. This is why I stay clean. While his mom was in the hospital, he was not in high school. He was doing online courses. One, because he didn't want to just deal with people. And two, it was cheaper. And three, he could pick his own schedule. So if he wanted to, he could do his homework at 2 in the morning. It didn't really matter. He was also working full-time. He started working full-time because his mom was in the hospital and bills needed to get paid. His dad was out of the picture. But what happened was, he's kind of, the way I can relate to him, he's a lot like me in many ways, except his life hasn't been as spectacular, I guess. But what happened was we were talking about this, and then he started smoking weed. I don't know if he was drinking at all, but he was smoking. And he's my age. Well, I think he's like 1 year younger maybe, but he started smoking weed, then he started taking a bunch of pills. He was just mixing up medicine, just doing what he can. He defined it to me. He said it got to the point where he was just drugged up all the time, and he just wanted to be a zombie because he did not know. It got to the point he forgot how to function like a normal person in real life. And that was just crazy to hear, really. I'm sorry if I'm trailing off in this commentary, but I mean, it was some pretty heavy content to deal with, to be honest. So what happened was, I think he told me the biggest thing that happened, really just cutting through 2 hours of conversation, he ended up almost ODing. It might have been OD. I don't know if an OD would equal death or not, but what happened was he told me that his dad, I've never met his dad, I don't know much about his dad, but I just know his dad was just a junkie, ex-junkie, ex-skinhead, all this stuff, just full of hate. Didn't care. He told me his dad showed no remorse, although sometimes he saw his dad as a human being, because sometimes his dad would feel guilty about something. What ended up happening was he got a text message from his dad. Now, his dad was in a relationship with someone, and she was in her second trimester, pregnant. and he texted his son saying, yeah, well, my girlfriend lost the baby. And by now, John had just so much shit piled on his plate where this is the last thing. It was like, wow, you just don't give a fuck to the point where you are texting me something like this. So what happened? He told me he just took a whole thing of Xanax, just at least 20 pills, and just threw them in his mouth, started just crunching them, swallowing them. And he told me he can't remember barely anything. He said it was the scariest thing he's ever been through. He told me that he kept blacking out. He thinks at one point he had a seizure because he remembers waking up and he was just grating and biting down his teeth to the point where they were just like cracking and chipping. And this went on for almost like 2 days. And he said he was at a point where he should have gone to a hospital, but he just didn't. What ended up happening was, thankfully he's okay now, but it was just some deep stuff, some crazy heavy stuff to deal with. As I said, he kept blacking out, and he said probably the scariest thing was at one point he was laying down in his bed, and he could just feel his heart rate just slowing down, like he was about to die. And he said that was probably the scariest part. But he said after all this, probably a little bit after, he said this is when his mom came home. He was still dealing with a lot of stuff. He saw, the pain he was causing his mom. And he just decided to just drop all this. He started, getting healthy. He started working out, eating right, doing a bunch of other stuff, focusing on work. And John was an atheist, and I believe, after our conversation, I don't think he's religious or anything, but he believes there's something there. It was really funny, though, because this is the way we talk. He told me what happened was there was just so much stuff piled on his plate, just a little bit after the whole OD situation. And he ended up praying for the first time in his life. And he told me he didn't want to give me many details, and I just said, okay, I understand, but, he prayed, and he just said, God, if there is something worth living for in this life, just please show me right now. And then this is where we were laughing. He said the next day, his girlfriend, who he's kind of with right now, ended up, who she had not talked to him in such a long time, she ended up messaging him on Facebook the day after he prayed. His reaction was, well, that is quite a strange coincidence. We just bust out laughing, but that happened a little bit after he started going out with his girlfriend. Things were going pretty good for him. But this just shocked me to hear that he just got to some point that was so low in his life that he resorted to this. And, honestly, hearing stuff like this, it made his girl problem sound like nothing. And I will say that when I talked to him about his girlfriend issues, this is for over an hour, he felt like after talking to me he had more of a clear, level head. Mainly because it helps, really, that I did not talk to him for a while and that I don't know him in real life, because then I don't have a bias to go with. And I'm not going to be going into detail about that, but it's just one of those things. Mainly the thing I want to say with this in the end is life gets better. As evidenced here, I mean, life got better for him. And whether you believe in a higher power or powers, or you're agnostic or you're not anything, whatever, life gets better. If you are in a state where you're just so dark, you're zombied up on just your own depression, drugs, anything like that, it gets better. If you can reach out to someone, that would be good. I told John, I was talking to him, and he asked me, he just said, Danny, how do I stop feeling like this, like with his girlfriend? And he said, how do I stop feeling like this? Because do you think it would help if I just don't talk about it for a little bit? And I asked him, well, have you been talking about it? And he said, since all this girl issue stuff has come up, he's been talking about it with people every day. And I said, you might not want to talk about it. Maybe that's good to take a break from it. What I would do if I were you, just spend some time to yourself. Get your stuff back on track. Start eating right. Start exercising. And, just do something to get your mind off it. Because, I'll be honest, this is nothing to worry about, don't worry, but I was kind of a little iffy before calling John. I just had a bunch of stuff in my head swirling around, and I told him, I said, while I've been on the phone with him for over an hour, I felt better talking to him because it got my mind off what I was thinking of, and my head was clear. And I said, if you can find something like that, some type of outlet, just like nothing to take your stress out on or anything, just something to distract you from that pain, it's a really good motive to choose. So we also repeat this many times. I repeat it to him, but I said, you know, this is what I do. What I do might not work for everyone, but I think it helps because everyone's different. But you know, at the end, I can see that John's really changed. I mean, first off, he prayed, and he's showing more emotions now. And I told him I'm really happy I see him like that. Because before, you know, he was just kind of null, almost, although he was a great person to talk to. But now I see him more as a person. And I'm happy I've seen that in the past 3 years I've known him. But if you're at the end of this commentary, just thank you so much. I hope my words have helped out somehow. Because he said talking to me helped, and you know, I figured if I can help out one person, maybe I can reach out to more people. Maybe I can help out. I don't know. And I'm very sorry for the depressing, down tone of this commentary. I promise there won't be very many, if at all, like this, but I just felt like this was something serious that I should talk about, something unrelated to gaming, something nice to share. This is Mr. Mario signing off. Thanks for watching, you guys. Again, life gets better. It's been evidenced through John, through me, through so many other people I know, friends and family, and it can be evidenced through you guys. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate y'all.